Watch this.
I'm afraid, Claire. I'm afraid of what they're gonna do to this town. You see, Umbrella, they had an incident. I'm talking Chernobyl, if you know what I mean. People are getting sick. You gotta help us, Claire. Let the world know what's really going on.
Hi, Kay, how are you doing? Nice to speak to you.
You too.
Congratulations on the movie. Yeah, really. I watched it the other day. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
Another kick-ass performance after Crawl, which I watched not too long ago. So that's brilliant. I mean, I was reading. I think it was an interview you did with The Guardian not long ago, or maybe it was quite a while ago. I don't remember. But it said that when you were a kid, you were totally the opposite of the characters that you played, like in Crawl and in Skins, because you were very kind of, you kept yourself to yourself, and you weren't very sure of yourself. Is that specifically maybe why you take these kind of roles on, or is it just happenstance that these
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was definitely a very, very shy child and a very quiet child. I was quite a grown-up child. I had to be, because it was just me and my mum, and she was working 3 jobs, so I had to be quite I couldn't really be a normal child in that sense. I had to grow up quite quickly. And then I started working very early, from the age of 14. I've been on sets for 12 hours a day and around grown-ups, and I really kind of enjoy a grown-up environment. But yeah, as far as roles go, I think I've just been lucky enough to learn that side of me and gain that confidence through being able to play these characters. It's something that's opened up me to being more assertive about myself, and yeah, it's given me a confidence. But it's odd. I still definitely prefer, playing them pretend than being like that in real life.
In real life, no, yeah. And I mean, I know that you were a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're a big fan of Arnie when you went back in the day. And he was one of your big inspirations. No, have you actually finally got to meet him and kind of speak about that?
I still haven't, but I'm okay with that, because I don't want to risk him being a prick and me losing my childhood hero.
Talk to the hand.
Yeah, it was, he had an accent, and I just was a kid with a mum with a foreign accent, and I'd never seen that on screen before, and he had one and was incredibly successful, and I don't know what it was, but I found that really fascinating. But no, I haven't got to meet him yet. He's busy doing stuff.
Well, but I hope he lives up to it when you do finally meet him.
I know, me too.
Talking of living up to things, you've got a lot to live up to here with this, obviously, because there's been I think there's been 12 films, a whole bundle of games. That's just a whole great big weight on your shoulder just going into it. I read that you rooted all the way through all the games and all the films, and looked through all kind of fans' comments to find just the right Claire to come up with. How did you go about that, very briefly? And what did you choose? Did you choose one specific one, or did you kind of mix and come up with an amalgamation that you thought would work best?
Yeah, I mean, it was super intimidating, because having played kind of Teresa before and characters that I knew had a fan base, I'm aware of how passionate people are about their idea of what the character should be like. And there's a very fine line of respecting that and wanting to give them, something that they've fallen in love with, but also bringing something new to the table. For me, I was lucky in that there is so many different incarnations of Claire throughout the years. There isn't just one structure of her. From game to game, she kind of evolves, not only physically, but within her journey, within her dialogue and stuff like that. So like you say, I went through each one and I kind of picked different elements that I thought were the most interesting, the funniest, or the kind of, what look suited her the best, what weapon did she seem more comfortable with, what did fans really respond to, and I tried to build this ultimate Claire that would also work for the screen. There's little things that are impossible to translate. For example, people are very passionate about her having a ponytail, but anyone with long hair will tell you that a ponytail in real life under a rain machine does not look good. So there are certain things that you do just have to change because you're making a movie. But it was important for me definitely to find the aspects of computer game Claire that people loved.
Every story has a beginning. Discover the origin of evil.
And then obviously, I mean, you mentioned that there's some comedy in this film. So obviously you've got this kick-ass Claire, but all of a sudden there's this rookie cop who you've got to share some comedy time with. And at the same time, you've got your brother who you kind of shared some comedy time, but also kind of this drama because this thing that's gone on between you in the past. That's a really difficult balance. Did you talk a lot with Johannes about that? beforehand?
Yeah, we worked on the scene with Claire and Chris quite a lot beforehand because it was important for us to get that balance of tension between them as siblings. I think that's kind of quite an honest portrayal of siblings. It's not kind of everything's perfect and wonderful and they hug each other and they've missed each other sorely. In fact, there's a lot of trauma there and there's a lot of things that are unsaid that they need to get past. We also worked on, that kind of that sense that you get even as adults when you're around your parents, you suddenly start speaking and acting like a teenager again. And I think they have that with each other. They start bickering and fighting. But they do have this unspoken bond. But yeah, like you say, it was very important to get that right because it sets us up for the journey of her searching for him and eventually, where they get to in the end.
Mm-hmm. I was speaking to Robbie yesterday about the zombies themselves because Johannes was adamant to kind of create something that was faithful to the games but also different to kind of breathe some fresh air into the zombie genre now. I want to specifically talk to you because I think you got to work with one specific zombie who is fantastic with all of her acrobatics and all these kind of things she's done. I spoke to a previous film that she'd done, and it's just amazing what she does. Just tell me what it's like working with her, having this something that you can kind of react to in front of you.
You mean the contortionist, Marina?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She's incredible. Again, it's she's able to do things with her body that are quite frankly a bit disgusting, but amazing for a zombie movie. And she was really committed. She really wanted to choreograph it, and she did an incredible job. And it makes our life so much easier as an actor. A lot of the time, we're usually facing a middle-aged dude in a green lycra suit, and that can be terrifying, but not as good as actually having someone in full makeup who can pop their shoulder in and out. It was very, very useful, and she did an incredible job.
Someone else that you had to work to that you worked with that you'd worked with before was dogs. They always say never work with dogs or with animals or with kids. You worked obviously with a dog recently in Crawl. I don't think Sugar would be very happy with what you do with the dogs.
No, she'd be super pissed at me, wouldn't she? But we made sure that the Dobermans weren't on set that day, so they had no idea that they actually die. They think that they're still in the movie and they make it all the way to the end.
They're going to be in the sequel.
Yeah. We told them, don't come to the premiere, it's fine, but you're in the movie all the way through, and everything works out great.
Brilliant. Well, listen, just to finish off, then we're running out of time. Obviously, this is this is kind of your recurring role of a kick-ass woman, but you're kind of taking a U-turn now, and the next couple of movies are very different. I mean, the next one, I believe you actually start with your husband now as well.
Yeah, we shot it 7 years ago.
What was that about?
Yeah, we actually shot that 7 years ago, and it's only now coming out, so it's a bit of a weird one. It was from quite a different time in my life, but yeah, it's a movie that we met on and fell in love on, and it's very different. It's about princesses and mermaids, and slightly different tone.
So I mean, but seeing that 7 years later, now having married the guy, that must be quite bizarre, no? To actually, I mean, have you sat down together and watched it since? We
haven't. We've been sent a link, but we're both too scared to watch it. I think I'm waiting until I'm not pregnant so I can drink while I watch it, because I think that's the only way I'll get through it. But no, it will be interesting. We're planning on watching it together at some point. But it is strange. What we loved about the experience was that we fell in love on this movie, and it never came out. So there was never any room for anyone to criticize it, or, it was our special thing. And it's a little bit scary that now it's being shared with the world. But on one hand, we both look really young and hot. So yeah, I'm glad it's out there.
Okay, it's been great to speak to you. Thanks so much for your time. Wish you the best of luck with this film, and I hope you enjoy the 7-year-old film when you see it again, once you've had your baby. Congratulations on the baby as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. All the best.
We're gonna take Umbrella down.